Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Abnorma podcast, your regular stop for all things spooky, sinister, silly, and serious. I am one of your Abnormal hosts, Quinton.
I am the second one, Mason. That was our intro?
That's our intro. And we have Wade over in the sound booth doing all of our sound things.
Hello, I'm Wade.
All right, that's enough out of Wade.
Okay.
Okay. What's our topic today, Quinton?
Well, I have a question to ask you, Mason.
Okay.
When was the last time you've had any sort of medical procedure done?
Oh, wow. Let's see. I had my appendix removed when I was in high school one time.
One time?
Yeah.
Only once.
It's only one time. There's only one appendix, apparently, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Sometimes there's more than one.
Yeah.
That's the only surgery you've ever had?
It. That's the only surgery I've ever had.
Really?
Was my appendix taken out?
You never broken a bone?
No.
No, I haven't either. I've only had ear surgery done.
Yeah.
When you were a baby, right?
No, when I was like 11.
Oh, okay. All right, so what was your point in asking me about my medical history?
We're not going to ask Wade?
No, we're not going to ask Wade that.
Yeah, my contract clearly states that I cannot discuss private medical experiences.
The reason I'm asking is, on today's topic, we're talking about medieval medical procedures and treatments and all that.
Is that like doctors in the medieval times?
I don't know if I would call them doctors. I don't think they're qualified to be doctors technically.
But they called themselves doctors, right?
Did that word even exist?
Well, it's something like that. I mean, they would have had to buy a book and somebody would have...
They couldn't buy books. Only monks had books in the Middle Ages.
It cost... yeah, they had books. I mean, it's about the cost of a used Miata in today's...
They just went to their Scholastic book fair and got one.
If we looked at inflation, if you were a doctor, to be a doctor in the Middle Ages, you had to have 6 books.
Yeah.
What were the 6 books?
It doesn't matter. If you had 6 books, you were pretty much the smartest.
Carpentry 101.
If you knew how to use a knife...
Yeah.
And you were above the age of 30, you were qualified.
If you had more than 4 books, you were basically like top 10 smartest person in your country.
In your village.
Yeah. At probably 1 book, you're the smartest in your village.
6, you're the smartest in the fiefdom.
6 books, people are like walking down the street being like, man, you books. My friend Brett, he's got 6 of them. And people would be like, well, that guy's got to be a doctor, right?
Did the Bible count?
No, probably not. And I think the reason for that is like if you did get shot in the ankle with an arrow or something, you probably would have been thinking to yourself back then, like, man, who am I going to go see to get this arrow removed? And then you'd be like, oh, Quinton knew that guy Brett who had 6 books. That guy was 6
he has
books.
To know something about getting arrows out.
He's probably the guy that I'll go to. So I think that's how doctors started.
Either that or your local butcher, one of the others. If they had more than like 3 animals and they hadn't died, they're doctors.
Yeah, we could say that.
It's all about how much you own, not what you know.
And so we'll talk about, I guess, a couple different aspects of that. We've got a procedure used to relieve pressure from the head. We've got to look at what they would do with leeches.
Mm-hmm.
Where they'd put the leeches. We're gonna do what else do we got? We got some wartime medicine. Like
combat medicine.
Yeah, if you got shot in the face with a bow and arrow, we'll figure out exactly how they'd get that removed.
They call Brett.
There's
Brett.
Yeah, the thing about Brett is Brett. England was a big country, and Brett got pretty busy. So
yeah,
eventually
he's half of Britain because there's Breton.
Yeah, exactly.
Breton.
So what's the first medical topic that we'll talk about?
You want to talk about
trepanning?
Tree panning?
Okay, so tree panning, I'm assuming that's when you want to get maple syrup.
Exactly.
You'd go out with your pan and you'd tap onto the tree and is that what it was?
Honestly, you're not that far off to what it is.
That yeah, okay.
So trepanning was a medical procedure they did to alleviate pressure in the head, and it's a lot more simpler than you think it is, because those are simpler times. They would just cut open the skull and just leave a hole in the skull. Yeah, anywhere.
Doesn't matter
Maybe
where.
In the back or the middle of the forehead, and just let the brain air out,
Do we have like a video of this? Can we see? Is
Yeah.
there like a?
Show us a video.
Yeah, we have a.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, what the hell
hold
is
on,
that?
We gotta
It's
back
Japanning.
it up.
Okay, there we go.
Head open.
What's this guy's name?
Brett.
Oh, this is Brett.
This is Brett.
Yeah,
Wow.
this is his offspring.
Oh
yeah.
man, I remember Brett in better days.
Oh, that was the skin.
Okay, so that's the
Skull?
That
That's the skull.
the
Yeah.
inner lining of your skull?
Membrane.
That's your membrane.
I honestly,
Membrane.
I think that's a bit too big of a hole for Japan.
That's a really big hole.
That's like a quarter of the skull.
Well, I think what they're trying to show us the kind of like what layers there are in the head, so they can like this is how far they had to drill down. They drill down to like the membrane to relieve pressure.
So if I had a
I guess.
headache and all the wart removers that they were giving me in honey to use to fix it weren't working, would they just drill a hole in my head?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the craziest thing is, like a lot of people didn't die from this.
What are you talking
The
about? They
actual,
didn't-
like the mortality rate from trepanning was like really not that high.
How?
I don't. I
the
think.
brain was exposed.
I think. Could you show that picture from the Wikipedia page
Yeah.
from the? And this is like.
A speck of dust could get in there, and you would be dead by tomorrow.
This was a deleted scene from The Wizard of Oz right here.
Can you, blow it up?
So you can see that the Tin Man there is drilling, or I guess he's just stabbing a hole, and it looks like there's like a flower growing out of his head or something. So
It doesn't look like he's having a particularly good time.
He doesn't. I think he's liking it. I think he's relaxed.
He's either really into it or he's just
Oh, he's dead.
he's dead.
he has that face you make when you've had like way too much to drink, or it's the face you make when you're getting like a really good foot massage.
Yeah.
They
definitely.
may have given him a lot of alcohol to numb it.
Oh, probably.
You know, maybe it doesn't hurt that much. Maybe it's like, you know, it feels good. A little scratch on the brain.
Didn't they used to do trepanning because they thought it would release demons out of the people's bodies?
I think every medical operation that they did before the year like 1840 was to like release demons from inside of your body.
Yeah.
They think that was 99% of all reasons why you were sick.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
I think so. I mean, you would have a demon living in your head.
Well, in that picture, if you make it smaller, I think there's like a priest and a nun there.
Yeah, there's a whole entourage here.
Oh, see, that's you got the bartender there.
Oh, he's giving him the
You got
alcohol.
the bookkeeper, making sure
That
everything's
nun
up to
is
code.
not just. She does not want to be here.
She's like, after your operation, you'll be able to successfully balance a book on your head. Also, why are they doing this in an open field?
If you were doing this and you had a chance, you said there was a high mortality rate, but you had a chance of dying. Wouldn't you want to see something pretty before you win?
That's true.
You gotta do it in sunlight so you can see what you're doing.
That's
too.
also true. I
You
didn't think about
can't
that.
see shit with the
Oh,
candlelight.
They tried doing it
that's true,
nighttime.
huh?
It didn't work.
What if a fly just flies right
That's
in?
what I said. When there's like a
Well,
speck of dirt that gets
yeah.
in there and he's like dead by tomorrow.
He kind of looks
He knew the
partially
risks.
dead already.
Just because they're drilling a hole in his
You knew
brain.
the risks.
Also, I like the monk's haircut. He's got kind of the classic.
The Friar Tuck.
Friar
Yeah,
Ferguson.
That's what you call that, the friar. That's a friar
the
haircut.
Friar Ferguson haircut. Right
Yeah. We want to go do another treatment.
Yeah, let's go. We can go do that.
We want to
What?
talk about bloodletting, maybe.
Oh wait, before we do that, you want to play a little game?
Oh. You?
Yes, I've got the perfect game for you, Mason.
Okay.
You to find my note cards. Yeah, if you go to the this or that folder, it's not called this. It's called torture or treatment.
Okay.
So this game is, I'm gonna show you a series. I'm gonna show you a series of pictures, and you have to tell me whether it's a medical device or a torture device.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I feel like
I
looking at the picture, that's pretty torturous.
I played this game with an ex-girlfriend one time.
Did you win?
Neither of us won.
Okay. Go to picture A, Wade.
Number A.
What is that? Medical device or torture device?
I'm getting uncomfortable looking at it, so I'm gonna go with medical device.
That is a torture device.
Really? What would you do with that guy?
Do you know? Do you want to know what it was used for?
Like one in the butt and the other.
This is the breast ripper.
What?
Whoa.
Women were tied down naked, and the device was used to tear off the breast flesh.
Holy shit.
What?
Yeah.
That's
Is
fucked
that
up.
real?
Yes.
That's intense.
That's the breast ripper,
Wow.
Very
not a
sh-
medical device.
Very straight to the point.
If you wanted a mastectomy, I guess
I
I guess it
guess.
could be a medical device, right? And-
Right.
I don't think they had that back then.
Yeah, I guess not. Okay, let's
Go to the next one. Go to
wanna do
B.
The other one.
Yeah, number B.
Okay, so I got that one wrong. I'm
Yeah,
0 for
come on.
1.
Medical device or torture device?
Oh, I'm pretty sure I used that exact thing the last time I had a kidney stone. So I'm gonna go medical device.
That is a torture device.
Are they all torture devices? You know what?
That is, I think it's either the pearl of anguish or the pear of
I
anguish.
think it's the pear of anguish.
The
I've seen this
pear
before.
of anguish. So this device was, you see those clamps on it?
Yeah, where do they go?
They would insert it in
In
either
your butt.
the butt,
Uh-huh.
the throat, or the vagina, and they would widen it.
And then they would turn that key and it would expand it
Yeah.
until your just like butthole
I
exploded.
guess.
Pretty much.
Whose job was it to administer this torture?
The torturer.
Some guy wearing a
Do you
black
think
leather hood.
Do you think he might have been a little bit like fetish for it, and you like
It's 50-50. You either love your job
Right.
or you fucking hate it.
imagine having to come home every day and like have to pretend like you don't like the job? You really see your wife is like, "How was your job today?" And you're like, "It was awful. I had to stick this metal device up like 4 dudes' butts. It was so horrible."
It's so
It's
bad.
the worst.
Non-related. I want to try some things in the bedroom.
Yeah.
I brought one home.
I was able to
I
sneak one
cleaned
out.
it.
It's
like-
clean. It's sterile.
It's like that Johnny Cash song with the Cadillac, but you build your own torture chamber eventually.
Go to the next one, Wade.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So torture device or a medical device?
Okay, so
Let's get that a little bigger.
you know, it really seems like it screams torture device. So as a result, I'm gonna guess medical for the 3rd time in a row.
It is a medical
We've
device.
Finally got one right.
This one's a bit newer than medieval, but it's still a medical device. That is a circumcision knife.
Oh.
No, that's not a cake cutter.
No.
Fish deboner.
This it just okay. So that does look very similar to a cake cutter my mom has.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point. That
Oh.
yeah, that was used for circumcisions.
So I mean, theoretically, you would have that at your birthday, even.
Yeah.
Your first birthday.
Yeah, your
When you were
first
just born.
your first birthday. I mean, it's still a birthday.
That's
Nice little
what the
bris.
doctors called cutting the cake.
Some. Oh God.
I didn't like that either.
It's a whole boy.
Next one, Wade.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh.
Medical device or torture device?
Okay. Well, it definitely looks like it could be inserted up the butt. So normally, I'm gonna go torture device.
That is a medical device.
God,
It is the
dog it.
anti-pair of anguish. This is I think it's the speculum.
The speculum.
It does a similar thing to the other one. It's a tool used to widen body orifices for inspection, like nasal, rectal,
Ugh.
vagina, oral, or even eyelids.
how
Eyelids.
wide do they think your nose needs to go?
Yeah. Like, how big is this thing?
They didn't have like magnifying glasses that doctors use now. They had to widen it up real big to be able to see.
Are they trying to like insert a whole candle up there so they can see?
They might.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems entirely too big for the orifices.
I don't know if this is a big one or a small one. I can't tell from the picture.
I really hope that would be a big one. If that's a small one, then there was really no hope for anyone back then.
A lot of people had big noses back then.
Okay, let's do the next
Next one. All right. Medical device or torture
Oh,
device?
Wow. I'm pretty sure you use that to start a fire. In your pants.
No. How
How
is that help for medical or I guess torture?
Again, I mean, if my standing rule is that if it looks like you can insert it up the rectum, I'm gonna vote torture device. But I'm gonna say medical for this one.
You should have went with your gut.
Damn it!
It's
man,
a torture
it's
device.
still only-
That is the thumb screws. So you would put thumbs or fingers in there, and they would tighten it with the clamp, and they would crush
Ooh.
the fingers.
Oh,
What
vice
about
grip.
just a good old hammer?
Where's the fun in that? That's
Yeah.
that's not slow and painful. That's a one-time use.
It's just one time and very painful as well. There's a different kind of pain,
You'd put your finger like below the.
like between the plates.
And they would take the
there.
clamp and they would screw it,
Ugh.
and it would crush it. Next one.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We want to talk about inserting it up your butt. That's. I mean, that's got to be torture.
Why do you think everything gets?
That's got to be. That's.
Why do you think everything gets inserted up the butt?
I think that would be the. I think that was the only means of torture they had back then.
Now, I will say this is a newer device than the other ones.
Okay. They sell this at sex shops near your home.
Or
You
at the CVS
Or the Target, wherever.
or Target or Walmart.
Oh.
So is it a torture device or a medical device?
I gotta go torture.
That is a medical
That's
device.
Of course it is.
That is artificial leaching.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, so you didn't even need the leeches. It just cut a hole in you and made you profusely
Yeah, the
bleed.
spikes would puncture the hole and the tube would suck it up like a vacuum because there's like a plunger and they would suck up the blood.
I prefer the leeches, surprisingly.
That's more archaic.
Yeah, I'll take the leeches over that.
Next one.
Yeah, leeches are organic.
It's true.
What's it?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, Mm. Are those is that dishwasher safe? Do you
I
think?
think that's made out of wood.
Yeah. So it depends on the finish.
Is it a medical device or a torture device?
I'm gonna say medical.
Medical?
Yeah.
That is a medical device. Guess. Do you want to guess what that's used for?
It doesn't go in the pee hole, does it?
No. That's a mouth gag.
What?
So when you put someone under, where however they did it back in the day, they would use that to keep the airways open.
I see. Okay. So you put it in, and they also probably couldn't bite their tongue.
Yeah. It does not, despite what it looks like, it does not go up the butt.
Interesting.
Goes in the other,
Yeah.
the front hole,
Next
not
one.
the back hole.
We got a few more.
Medical
Medical device or torture device.
I'm gonna go neither. I'm gonna
Might
say
have to
this.
censor this one.
Was this the first issue of Playgirl magazine, circa 1714?
1714. That's a bit more recent.
What is he doing? Is he farting on him?
Is it a medical device or a torture device?
It's definitely not a sexual device then.
No.
It's got to be one of those two things you listed.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to say medical, and the reason is, well, I would say medical because I don't know why the man would be naked to torture him, but also I don't know why the man would be naked to administer medicine to him. So, you know what? I'm going to go torture because it does have those little turning things right
Torture
there.
rack things.
Yeah. So I'm going to go, that's maybe like a stretcher.
That is a medical device.
What?
That's an elongator. The original.
This is the Hippocratic bench. This is the precursor to the rack.
Interesting.
I thought the rack was a torture device.
I know, but it was originally used for medical. So if you had like a curved spine or a fractured bone that was overlapping, they would take you and tie you to whatever limb that needs to be fixed, and they would stretch it to either mend the bone or straighten out the spine.
So what's with the guy?
Yeah, why is he
Sitting on
naked sitting on him with his junk fully
This
exposed?
is created during like the Roman times.
Oh, that makes sense.
So everyone was
Okay.
just
yeah,
naked.
yeah.
Okay.
All men were naked sitting on top of other naked men.
That makes sense.
So
Yeah.
we've got two more.
All right.
I still don't think the real crux of that picture has been figured out yet. We know
Don't fixate
what
on
it was
too much.
for, but
Don't worry about it.
all right, let's those look like some forceps. I gotta go medical.
Medical?
I gotta go medical.
That is a torture device.
Oh boy, have I gotten only one right so far?
I think so. Yeah.
This is the scavenger's daughter.
What?
I don't.
Oh.
So what they would do is, they would put the head, feet, and legs inside of it. So you see the big round one? That's the head.
Okay.
The smaller one's the hands, and the ones at the bottom are the feet.
Wow, this thing's big, man.
And so they were like kind of hunched over in a locked position, and it would oftentimes crack ribs, break breastbones, or dislocate the spine.
Oof.
Oh, so it's kind of like a what's the wooden thing that you'd put your head and your arms through and everything?
Gallows?
Headstock.
Yeah, it's not gallows.
Headstock, I think
Yeah.
they're called.
Yeah, what is
The
it called?
stocks.
The stocks. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like that. It's like a portable stocks.
Yeah,
This is like the iPod, but
like in a more fetal position.
for stocks.
Yeah.
Fetal iPod.
Yeah, you could bring this around and torture people in other villages. Imagine like a medieval Steve Jobs being like, "We used to have stocks and they were stationary, and
Now we mobilize.
Now-
you can take it on the go.
and you bring some guys up on stage and you put them in there and you torture them right there in front of everybody, and everybody's like, "Yeah, this is amazing."
All right, last one.
Okay, that just looks like a good old saw that's just attached to 3 pieces of wood, and there's some string run over it.
Medical device or torture
let's
device.
Think about this. What could you, medically speaking, how much pain would I have to be in before I would ever allow anyone to use that on me? And from the torture perspective, what horrible thing would I had to have done? I'm going to go medical.
It is both a medical and a torture device.
Okay, well, first of all, we never said that
Trick
one could be
question.
both, because I would have answered both for all of them.
No, but each one wasn't both. Technically, the Hippocratic bench could be considered both,
Hell yeah, I could.
but this one. So, of course, you could use a saw for amputation.
Okay.
But what they would do for torture is they would hang you upside down where all the blood reached to your head, and they would bisect you from the groin down
Oh, I've heard
with
about
2 men
this.
with a saw.
I've seen.
And that was torture
Yeah. I've
or
seen
execution.
something
I
about
guess a lot of things could be execution too.
Whoa. I guess that's the other thing too about dismemberment is it could be medical if you needed it,
Yeah.
but then it's just torture if you don't need it. Like, if someone just cuts your foot off for just being a jerk.
There is a torture method called the death of 1,000 cuts where they would just cut you all over the place. It's almost like surgery, just halfway. They gave up halfway. I'm like,
this. Yeah, fuck it.
fuck
Yeah,
it.
just leave him there.
Cut 'em
He'll
up.
be all right. All right, so in the game, I got only one, right? Did I
What?
get? Can we say 1.5?
We'll say 2.
We'll say 2.
since That
Yeah.
one's like a.
So I failed. I would
Yeah.
have gotten an F, huh?
Yeah.
You do not know your differences between what is a medical device and what is a torture device. But during the medieval times, it was probably both.
Yeah.
Every medical treatment probably felt torturous.
Now, so there was that one that was like replacing a leech. So what do you exactly use leeches for in a medical context?
Oh, wow. Young Wade
Well, I mean, I just
with
was
an interesting question
thinking about
there.
it.
We should do another topic.
I saw something about leeches on the little outline we got here, and I was wondering what that's all about.
So bloodletting was a pretty big deal back in the day. And it was kind of invented by this French dude. And, he was super smart, obviously, like all doctors
6
were
books.
back then. Yeah, he had 7 books.
Oh, he had 7.
Shit.
Yeah, he had 7.
7.
And in the 7th book he read, that all diseases, right, they were because of your organs would be inflamed.
Okay.
So like they would swell up. And so, if your like kidney was swollen up too big, you'd been drinking too much liquor, and we're gonna put some leech on your kidney and we're gonna suck a liter of blood right out of it.
That's a lot of blood.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't think it would work or anything, but I think normally what would happen is they would suck your blood out and you'd be like, I feel a lot better now that you're not sucking all this blood out of me.
I feel lighter.
Yeah, and they'd be like, all right, you're cured.
And then he stumbles out because he has like a liter of blood gone.
I mean, and they could take out as many as like 2 liters of blood
How much blood do we have in the human body?
Let me check.
At least
At least 2 ounces.
2 gallons, right? With 2 gallons of blood?
No, that seems like too much.
Is that too much blood?
You would need leaching for it. If you had 2 gallons of blood.
Approximately 1.2 to 1.5
Oh,
gallons.
I
Not
wasn't-
even 2.
You weren't.
I wasn't
You know
bad.
what?
Close.
I stand corrected.
I'm thinking 2 milk jugs of blood. And so you've got less than 2 milk jugs of blood, and they were pulling
2 liters.
a 2 liter of diet soda out of that.
What's the conversion to liters to gallons? Wait,
Yeah, on it.
We're gonna figure this out.
and also tell us how much blood you need to survive.
So 5.6 liters, 5.7 liters would be about 1.5 gallons.
So you're taking like
A fifth, right?
a fifth of someone's blood out, and then you're curing them.
But would they be cured, or would they
Well-
just feel different? Would the new symptoms they have be better off than what they had before?
They went home at
All right.
night
So
thinking they did a good job.
it says here that if you lose more than 40% of your blood, you will die. So that's
Oh.
about 0.5 gallons or 2,000 milliliters.
So they're only taking like 15% of your blood.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. I think
Yeah.
that's okay.
They would go home at night and be
Yeah.
like, "How was your day today? I just saved another life
They may
today."
feel a bit tired. They just go eat a sandwich and they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of famous people obviously had bloodletted, had their blood were
Blooded?
blooded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the most famous ones was George Washington. He was who was he again?
He's our first
I think
president of the United States.
He did some important. He fought some war or something. It's not really
Okay.
that important what he did, but apparently he's famous.
So I mean, he had Riz,
It's fucking rich.
Fuck
right?
up.
He had Riz. Is
Yeah.
that right? Did I use that word correctly there?
No.
Sure, whatever.
Now what happened to him was he got sick one day, and he's out riding his horse, and they're going through the woods, and there's all kinds of stuff, and he's with his friends. He's got his little posse, and he's telling his posse, he's like, "Man, I'm like feel like crap. It's like cold, and I don't feel good." And they're like, "Okay, well, come on, let's go hang out, and we're gonna call the doctor, and he's gonna get some leeches, and we're gonna fix you right up." So they put George Washington in the bed, and they put the leeches on him, and they take a liter out of blood, right? They take a liter of blood out of George, and he's kind of like, "I think it's crazy, but I actually don't feel any better after you guys just removed like 1/5 of the blood from my body." And so
It may be the lack of blood talking, but I feel a lot fucking worse.
maybe the lack of blood, but then one of the doctors was like, don't worry, hold my beer. We've got this.
Hold my ale.
Hold my mead.
My mead.
And so they took another liter of blood out of good old George Washington.
Now that's getting close to 40%.
So now he's got 2 liters of blood taken out of him, and he's like, "Man, I still do not feel good at all." So then they put this medication on him, which was like, it was essentially like a burning ointment. It was
For what?
for originally it was for warts. But he didn't really have any warts. And
Or burning.
they just put this burning stuff all over his body, and he was like, "Man, I'm like still in pain. This is still not working." So then they took another half liter of blood from him
Drain them.
in an attempt. So now George Washington is out 2.5 liters of blood, and you'll never guess what happens
He's
next.
fine.
lived.
Completely fine.
He died.
Oh, really? That didn't work?
He died.
You're telling me that draining 2.5 liters of blood doesn't save a life?
I was just as perplexed as you guys and confused because I obviously thought it was going to work. So after George Washington dies, there's a knock on the front door, and everybody's surrounding around, and whatever his wife's name, Martha or whatever, was all like, "Oh man, this sucks. Freaking husband's dead.
Freaking husband's dead and shit.
It's cold outside. There's no central heat. It's freezing."
Whatever shall we do?
Family
But-
Feud's not on yet.
But
Yeah.
who was there? None other than
George-
another doctor.
Yeah,
Wow.
apparently.
So
his
this guy's like,
friends
"Man,
with Washington or something.
I heard something happened to George
I heard something
Washington,
happened.
just through the grapevine, checking MySpace, I saw, that maybe George Washington, he's in trouble. He needs my help. And so they were like, yeah, holy moly, dude, it's perfect timing. I can't believe you're here. So he comes upstairs and he's telling all the doctors, and they're like, so what do you think we should do? And he's like, well, I think that we should revive him.
They're gonna bring him back from the fucking dead.
And they were like, bro, like we don't do any of that like mysticism crap.
Necromancy.
We're good Christians in this home. And he says, no. We're gonna scientifically revive George Washington. And they're like, whoa, okay, this guy's got like 9 books, they're thinking, right? Because if he can actually revive George Washington, then so they ask him what his plan would be, to actually kind of go over before they can kind of, veto it or not. So he says, what we're going to do is we're going to take the body. It's all cold. It's frozen. He's been dead for a couple hours. We're going to put him in hot water. And they're like, okay, that seems reasonable, right? So he says, okay. So, and then in the pursuit of saving his life, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut a hole in his neck.
Right.
And so they slice his throat open, and that would be what the plan was. And then he was going to take like a straw, and he was going to bring up a lamb, and he was going to kill the lamb, right? And then he was going to put the straw in the lamb's neck, and then put the other straw in George Washington's neck, and then somebody was going to have to like a little suck.
A little siphon, like
little
stealing
siphon.
gasoline.
And then kind of suck a little blood, and then put the blood in George Washington. And then from his theory, what he thought would happen was, George Washington would get all kinds of new lamb's blood because, there's really... Obviously, there's no difference. Lamb's blood, human's blood. It's all interchangeable. It's blood. And then George Washington would kind of wake up, and then he would be like, "Whoa, what happened, guys? I feel like eating some grass or
apple pie,
something, or what do lambs eat?
Someone needs to shear my hair."
Unfortunately, though, the other doctors who were in the room who maybe had read 10 books, said, no, that seems like the stupidest plan that has ever been proposed.
This guy actually had 4 books probably?
Yeah.
A bonehead move like this?
I mean, for a bonehead move like that, maybe 3 books.
3, wow.
And one of them may have only had pictures in it.
That's like 2 books.
So,
all with lambs.
Yeah, so George Washington died, unfortunately. He's last time I checked, he's still dead.
Depends on who you ask.
Wait, check if George Washington is alive.
Can we look that up? Wait,
Yeah,
is George Washington still dead?
Let's make sure.
When did he... I think he died in 1807.
No, he didn't live to
That's
see... I know this, actually. He didn't live to see the year 1800. He had said that he wanted to live to see the year 1800, and there it is. He died 1799.
Oh, okay.
Died 2 weeks before the year 1800, and he didn't live to see all the many scientific and medical discoveries that
could have possibly saved his life.
That would have been made.
Man, he didn't live long enough to see disco.
That is probably not.
He missed out on the War of 1812.
Yeah, I mean, of all the things he missed out on, I'd say disco is probably at the bottom of the list. He did.
You don't know that. He
did miss out on Fleetwood Mac's wonderful 1970s album Rumors.
Okay,
that was a good album. He did miss out on that one.
I think we know a guy that knows
right.
Four Humors.
We have a very special guest tonight.
Yeah, he's calling right now.
He's from the medieval times. I don't know how he got a phone, but
is he a plague doctor technically?
Yeah, I can put him on right now if you want me to.
What's his name?
Brett.
Oh shit!
This is Brett the plague doctor.
Brett. Yeah, Brett.
Okay, let's see. Let me try to. Hello? Is this?
Hello?
You don't have to fake pantomime.
Is this Brett? Is this hello?
Hi,
hello?
Brett, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Brett,
Hi, Brett.
Is your internet connection okay in 1604?
Fuck's an internet.
1604 is way too...
It's much too later. Modern?
Yeah.
So
use some witches or something.
1204?
Yeah, it's good. That works.
So 1204. Okay, doctor. Tell us a little bit more about medicine back then. You believed in something called the 4 humors.
Right. So basically, you got 4 fluids. You got black bile, you got yellow bile, and you got blood and phlegm.
Okay. All right.
My good friend Galen, he was always telling me that these are imbalanced, right? And that causes problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is black bile?
So that's like stuff that comes out your spleen, yeah.
Okay.
And yellow bile?
Right, so that would be like shit. And vomit, like puke. It comes out your mouth.
You're saying black bile wouldn't be poop. Yellow bile is poop.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a bit confusing.
Wow, okay.
I don't know how.
But black bile is, well, I guess it's also black, right? Because it causes like you to feel sad or something.
Right, so it puts you in a melancholic temperament, right?
The black bile does?
Yeah.
What is the melancholic temperament?
It's when you have too much black bile in your body and you feel sad about it, or you have cancer.
This is like when
Cancer.
This is like when you want to listen to like some sad Midwest emo.
I don't know what any of those words mean. That's not in my 5 books.
Brett, how do you
You've
balance?
never heard of the band American Football, Dr. Brett?
How do you balance your humors?
What does that mean? Balance your humors.
That's what he said.
You fucking idiots didn't even ask about the,
we
the
don't
other
have
books.
6 books.
You didn't ask about the other.
Wait,
other
that's
humor.
How many books do you have, Dr.
I
Brett?
said 5. Now we got another humor you didn't ask about, right?
What was the last one?
It's called phlegm, right? So
like from your nose.
basically, right, it's like your semen,
What? Excuse
What?
me.
your mucus, your saliva, your
I didn't know you were in the Navy, Dr. Brett.
Fuck. That doesn't come out. Some of those do not come out my throat.
Right, it's always like white, colorless. So
There's definitely no color?
yeah,
Okay.
I don't know what type of saliva you have, Brett, but mine's not white.
but here in 1204, we do things a little differently, right?
I guess you do.
Right,
So those were the four humors.
right. So what were you fools talking about, right?
How do you balance them?
Right, so basically, it really depends on your temperament. So, say you got a sanguine temperament. That's when you're feeling excitable.
Okay.
What does sanguine mean?
It's like
You said
blood.
excitable.
That's what them Roman. It's what them Romans call blood, right? I think sanguine or something.
Good.
Sanguines. You got it swimming all over in you? Okay, so we've got the 4 humors, and
So, like them leeches I hear you talking about, you'd use them to balance that. Let too much blood in your body, so you let them out with the leeches, right?
Uh-huh.
so how'd you get the black phlegm out with the black bile?
Right, we looks like we cut your guts open and just take it out.
That's it? That's all
it?
you have to do?
I think so.
Okay.
Do you think that might
Wait,
do?
what temperament?
I haven't gotten book 6 yet. I'm not too sure.
What temperament do you have to be for the black bile?
Depressed.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Melancholy.
yeah.
That's a melancholic temperament.
Okay.
Now, if you're feeling aggressive or short tempered, that's a choleric temperament, right? That's your
What?
yellow bile, so we gotta make you shit.
But what mood am I feeling?
Like you're feeling ambitious or aggressive or you're angry.
I'm ambitious because apparently I have to shit.
You have to shit. You have to shit, mate.
Good to know.
You're ambitious to take a shit.
And the last one?
With phlegm, it's just if you're feeling reserved, right? So if you just
What does that mean?
Was that like a shy boy?
if you're shy or whatever,
Blue balls?
you just got
Is shyness is a medical abnormally that needs
right.
to
You
be?
got too much phlegm in your body. You gotta let a little out, right? So we take you to the brothel, right, where the whores are at.
Oh right,
and
okay.
have you release some phlegm, right?
So that's what they would do. They would prescribe a prostitute.
Right.
Oh,
But what if you get more phlegm in you?
Well, then we let out the other.
Oh, is it
we
with another prostitute?
We have other stuff.
What
to
if
do,
the what if
surgery and all
what
that.
if after you visit the prostitute you discover that you've got a even more black bile, but this time it's secreting from somewhere that it had not previously been secreting from.
You can,
Right, mate. That's called falling in love with the hooker, right? So
Oh.
you just gotta cut you open and take your black bile out. Yeah.
I've got some. So I got a lot of friends, Brett, around the office that have some medical issues that I'm hoping
Alright.
you'll be able to help us sort out.
Wait a minute, let me stop you there. It's the year 2023,
2023.
and we've asked people around our office to write some medical issues that they're having, and we are going to ask a plague-based doctor from the year 1204.
Everyone loves home remedies. They don't want to have to drive to a doctor's
It's that
office.
homeopathic stuff.
That's true. Medical insurance is getting really expensive. So, okay, I guess we can try to help some people around the office.
All right.
Right.
I've been experiencing sudden mood swings lately. Could it be something with my diet?
Right, so that sounds like black bile. That's a melancholic temperament. So what we got to do is cut you open, right, and take out black bile.
And that will change their mood?
Yeah, make them feel better.
But what if they have several mood swings?
Right,
Like,
so
what if they're
we're gonna
feeling different emotions?
So if they're depressed, right, we take out black bile, but whenever they're feeling enthusiastic, we take out the blood, right? But if they're feeling aggressive and angry, we take out yellow bile, and if they don't want to talk or nothing, we just take out the phlegm, right? Right.
Doctor, have you ever heard of something called allergies? I see when I go outside a lot and I breathe, my nose gets stuffed up.
Right, so I think that would probably be a phlegm issue, right?
Oh.
Because
You're shy.
you're reserving your breath, right? So that's it's a phlegmatic nature, right?
So you're saying that if I was a more outgoing person that I probably wouldn't be.
No, if you're outgoing,
you don't want to
that's-
be too
that's
outgoing.
That's
or
yellow
you're gonna
bile.
shit everywhere.
That's the yellow bile you got to deal with.
Then I'm going to projectile vomit everywhere like that girl from The Exorcist.
You just have to have no emotions, and you're
Exorcism, that's a
fine.
different type of medicine.
I have another question for you.
All right.
How can I relieve my lower back pain?
Back pain. What's the temperament like normally?
Well, if this person has lower back pain, then
Well, you know them, right? What are they like day to day? What's the temperament?
I don't know. These are anonymous. These are anonymous questions. But if
You remember them, tell me what's the temperament.
I would imagine if they had lower back pain, then it was like they're in a bad mood.
All right, so they just got a shit.
That's it.
Yeah, it's just yellow bile. It's a choleric temperament.
That's
I
it.
have one.
This one's a bit different. Maybe it will help. My sex drive has diminished significantly. Is there anything I can take to improve it?
First of all, I did not write that question, so I didn't submit that question.
That sounds like you got a lack of phlegm.
Okay.
So what
I've
you
got plenty of phlegm. I'm sorry, I didn't submit that question.
I'm asking you, mate. Right, so it sounds like you got too much of the other stuff. So we got to let some blood out. We got to make you shit. And we got to cut you open, take your guts out. So then you'll have enough phlegm to have a sex drive, right?
Doctor, from my perspective, and again, I own only one book. So
I'm
I'm
talking to me, right?
Yeah, and I'm talking to you who owns 5 books.
I'm 5.
So, I mean, I'm not saying that I'm an expert and I'm not saying that I know anything, but it does sound like every medical issue that anyone is presenting to you, you're either prescribing to cut them open with a knife and to pull their insides out, to make them shit.
What else am I supposed to do?
Or to make them more, to tell them to be more self-confident?
What else am I supposed to do?
Is there no other treatments?
Is that it?
Those are the only 4?
Well, we got this device, right? It's like a rack you lay on, right?
Oh, that may help the back
I'll
pain.
get my friend to sit on you while we stretch you out, yeah?
Oh, okay. That sounds like chiropractor.
What?
It sounds like going to a chiropractor.
Is your friend naked when he sits on us?
Sometimes.
I think I saw some pictures of that. and
Yeah, he's a little insecure about those pictures. that got
Doctor,
out.
I've got a few more questions I'd like to ask you.
All right.
My daughter awoke this morning with sores all over her face. What should I do about that?
What's the kid's temperament?
Like probably with the back pain, probably in a pretty bad mood.
All right, they can puke.
Make them puke?
Right, they got too much yellow bile. That's what it seems like. They're short-tempered.
But surely that will make them more sick because you're puking.
Well, you're getting out the bad bile that's making them feel sick. So technically, it's not bad.
So what do you do when you make them puke and they're now nauseated from the puke and their stomach hurts?
Right, so I would say that's like a type of melancholy. So we cut them open, right, and we just take out the black bile because they're like confused. And
so
depressed.
I see what you're saying. So this makes sense to me. So you have someone who's got pox on their face. We're going to make them throw up.
Right,
they throw up. That should clear the pox. But then they come in and say that they're feeling nauseous. And obviously that's not because they throw up. that's because they have black bile, and so then we cut them open with a surgical knife
Right.
and remove their insides,
Right.
I feel like the
and they're
nausea
cured.
Right.
comes from throwing
Perfect.
up.
You seem
That's not what the doctor's saying.
You seem
I-
to understand.
How many
what I'm
books do
talking
you
about.
have, Quinton?
I have a lot of books.
How many books
Do you have more than 5?
Yeah,
Whoa.
Whoa! Wait a minute. You have more than 5 books?
I've got a few dozen.
Why are we talking to this guy when Quinton has more than 5 books?
Because he's the expert.
I'm the expert.
I don't have medical books. He has medical books.
I did have a
Medical
thought though,
books.
Doctor. Do you know they have this thing that's going on? I think it's called the Black Plague.
Right, my friend Euronymous, right? He's a
Yeah,
he's a plague doctor.
Euronymous?
that's happening around you guys' time.
Well, it's 100 years out or so, I think. But
That's a long time.
So I do have a question,
Yeah.
and this is just a theory here, and I was thinking maybe this could save something like, I don't know, 500 million lives over the next 25 years.
right.
Would you say that you guys have maybe a rodent problem?
Well, you ask me, I'll think that the Jewish people.
Well, okay.
that-
no, Next question,
No,
next question.
I mean,
Next question. So I get headaches every afternoon. Does that mean I should be drinking more water?
Right. So, headaches. That sounds like probably need to. I have a friend. His name's Trey. Right. He does trepanning. So that's just you just gotta cut a hole open there.
So you do have other remedies besides the 4 humors.
Right. Right. But I'm a hummus guy.
Okay.
I'm a humologist.
But should they be drinking more water?
Where'd I get it from?
Probably from their house.
It's a house. You have water in your house?
I mean, where do you get water?
The lake that we all shit in.
so,
So that seems like a yellow bile problem for you.
right. I deal with yellow bile all the time. Yeah.
Last question, doctor. I stubbed my toe years ago, but the nail keeps growing back weird. How can I fix it?
Amputation.
Perfect. Okay.
so that was it for Kyrie Irving.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Brett. For Wade, you can
Wait, go and hang up the phone on that racist.
What did he say? Did he say something weird?
no, it's fine.
I mean, I guess talking to anyone from the 13th century.
You didn't ask him about rats, did you?
Mason did.
You see,
Yeah, I brought up the rats thing.
he's really. There's a whole thing.
Okay.
Probably shouldn't talk about it on the podcast, but
We
yeah.
kind of did a bit.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm pro-Israel, but
Whoa!
I-
What does this have to?
I thought that was a bit far.
Anyway,
We have one more topic to talk about.
Oh, do we?
right.
Because we talked about procedures going into regular everyday people, citizens needing treatment. But what about when you're in the thick of it in combat?
Glorious combat.
What about if you were like a king?
Right.
You would imagine the king would get the absolute best medical treatment,
He's
right?
the king.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, it doesn't mean that the king got smarter doctors.
They
He's
do
got
not
more.
have.
He just got ones that
He got poor 3-book doctors.
I think the king might have had a couple 4-book doctors.
There's one doctor that's pretty smart that did end up saving his life.
We're going to look at the doctor who did save the life of King Henry V, I believe. So King Henry V looked a lot like Timothy Chalamet.
Do you want me to jump right in?
Yeah, we could jump right
Let's
in.
see let's see what the damage is.
Let's see what the king looked like first, though. Let's take a look at the wound. So we've got the king, and
Skip forward a little
there he
bit.
is.
Why'd they?
They removed his head, I think, so they can get at the better angle on the.
Yeah, I mean, decapitation is really just logistical back
Oh
then.
God, Jesus!
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, shit!
Oh
Is he bleeding?
no.
Yes, he's bleeding. What do you mean no?
Okay,
Right, so the arrow is in.
Right.
so he put an
So-
arrow.
So we gotta look at the wound we're looking at. So do you guys want to see? I guess like kind of the proper method of removal.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'd just be twist and pull, right?
Well, the arrow tip, it has like a barb on it, so it's gonna get caught. Well, actually, if I remember the case right, He talked about it a bit earlier in the video. So that's the tool they're using. But earlier in the video, the arrowhead, like they tried to pull it out and the shaft came off. So the arrowhead was just stuck in there.
That's not good.
So they had this guy, right, invented this like screw thing. It goes in there. And it goes into where the shaft of the arrow was.
Whoa.
That needle drives through it, spreads it open. So that catches the sides of the arrowhead.
And they pull it out.
Yeah, and then in theory it pulls out easily. So let's see. He's gonna kind of try it. Yeah, you gotta like jam it in there to get it to
I'm
work.
assuming a lot of people got shot with arrows back around this time.
Yeah,
huh?
they normally died immediately.
Normally,
Immediately.
you think?
Yeah, we had that other video where they showed some common arrow removal techniques.
Wait,
too.
he's about to.
So wait a minute. So they would
He's gonna-
normally die immediately.
No, he didn't
Somehow
get it
this
out.
guy got
Huge
shot in the face.
Yeah, like the side of
And
his
he's
face.
still alive. Not only is he still alive, but he went on to he was king for a couple years. I think he
All right, and there it is.
Hey!
Got it
they
out.
pulled it out.
Yeah,
That's it.
right.
You
yeah,
ever
he
played
got it out.
Operation? It's kind of like that.
Not recently.
Apparently,
no.
they still use that instrument for modern medicine.
What, the game Operation?
Yeah,
Oh yeah. No, I know a lot of doctors who still train on the Operation.
Yeah, when I
but
tried
also
to-
the screw.
The screw, yeah, they use that to take bullets out. Yeah,
Oh, right. Okay, that makes
Oh,
sense.
really?
Definitely what they do. Yeah,
Oh wow.
it's real. Just,
Oh.
don't look that up though.
So I mean, we were joking, but that 5-book doctor, pretty smart guy.
Yeah,
We're still using that, right?
Yep.
He's pretty smart.
right.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, what happened to that guy?
This
He's
guy got shot through
a
the
lot
wrist.
worse than just arrows. Looks like he's
So-
got the plague.
Yeah, he's sort of what he's doing is he's saying like, oh, you can't exactly.
You gotta push it through,
yeah,
huh?
push it through because of the
Oh.
barb on the. Oh, I skipped through.
Whoa.
Thank you.
Oops. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta push through. You can't just pull it straight out because if it's like colliding with the bone. But this is like if it's getting caught on the bone, you gotta like kind of finagle it in there.
Why,
Oh,
would, you, why would
see.
you use feathers for that?
Because it was the only thing they had back in the day.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's
believe
not
that.
like getting
It worked. Look at
disgusting
that.
pigeon feathers in your wound wouldn't
Wouldn't help it.
wouldn't infect it or anything. Pigeons are super clean animals.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that was
Why didn't they just use
wow, this is a bigger machine
That's
there.
Why
That's
didn't they
a
just use the
complex
clamp?
You got a clamp wired through a crossbow.
This is like if you got shot by one of those
guess this would just pull
long
it out in
long
one
go.
archers.
Yeah. Those old lawn darts that like people played with in the 90s, whatever.
Yeah, maybe we could get some lawn
Wait,
darts.
Yeah.
you weren't even born in the 90s.
So, I'm aware of lawn darts. So yeah, this is I guess the mechanism.
Oh.
So, yeah,
Oh, that's gonna
Mm.
shoot way out.
let's see him shoot this thing off.
Oh, I see, and it's actually still
It's
connected to the crossbow?
yeah. So they had to like wire. They have like a clamp attached to the arrowhead or the bolt head or whatever it is. And so when they shoot the crossbow, it's gonna just yank that thing out. So it pulls it out in one clean go.
I feel like that would cause more damage.
it's like tying your tooth to like a door
I
handle.
never did that.
So would they actually use they would use the crossbow to shoot people with
Yeah.
and then use the crossbow to heal people
It's
with?
both a murder weapon and a medical device, kind of like that
Oh.
thing. There you go.
What?
Pulled it right out.
I feel like that did more
That's
damage.
actually kind of cool. He's gonna look
Yum.
slow-mo. No, that looks pretty
There's no blood on that arrow.
And remember, guys, there's absolutely no there's no pain relievers back then. There's
It's
no
alcohol.
aspirin. It's just booze, huh?
It's alcohol.
You know how they disinfect the wound
with alcohol.
with
Alcohol.
honey? No, they didn't even
Oh.
they didn't even know that alcohol was good to disinfect the wounds back then. They used honey to disinfect the wounds. They would just drink the alcohol.
Yeah.
But they also didn't have liquor, I don't think. So it was mostly just like, you couldn't just pour
Wine.
mead or wine on a boo-boo and expect that to heal it like you
Water
could
with dirt in it.
vodka or something. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So I think we got one of our fellow coworkers.
Jace, get over here. I want to play a game with you.
Good friend of the pod,
So-
Jace.
A nice
Jace-
wrap up. It's like a quiz with everything. Have you been paying attention?
He's definitely not been sitting in the room this entire time while we did this. That
Get
is
your
not
get
at all
your
what
little
happened.
Get in there,
little microphone.
Jace. That's like
Micah will move.
That's like a
He's
spot.
not moving. Now, Wade, go to the quiz 2 folder.
Right. Give me just a sec.
Right. So, Jason, I'm going to show you a series of images.
Okay.
Okay.
And they're multiple choice, so you don't have to worry about any short answer essays.
Multiple choices.
And we're going to see if you know what's going on in the pictures. So is that, is it A, a tattoo gone wrong, B, bloodletting, or C, a blood transfusion?
I think he's just trying to eat a pomegranate.
That does look very much like a
I don't know. I don't think they had.
Sharing grapefruit. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with blood transfusion.
Blood transfusion?
Yeah.
You were incorrect. That's bloodletting.
Oh.
Because, see, he's draining the blood.
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, it's
to
like
that
blood.
part.
It's like blood flowing into this bowl here.
All right, that's fine. You still got 3 more. All right, go to B, Wade.
All right.
Zoom in on that.
Yeah, nice and pretty.
That's a familiar one.
We saw that one.
Fans of the pod might recognize this one.
So is that A, trepanning,
Yeah.
B, a bad haircut, or 3, wart removal?
Well,
Eyes up here, Wade.
Whoa.
Okay.
Hey, yeah, I was looking.
I see where Wade's eyes are going.
don't think
he
even
at this
noticed.
photo here.
I'm looking.
Well, I think it's definitely a bad haircut.
I think there's 4 bad haircuts there.
Well, we can't see all cone heads. So.
What was the first
That's
one?
true.
Trepanning.
I don't know what that is, but I think that's the right answer.
You've been here the whole time. You weren't paying attention.
Jason's paid attention to nothing.
Well, you are correct. It is trepanning.
You are right, though.
All right, go to C.
All right.
Zoom in on that.
Oh.
I'm 50% right now.
Now, we didn't really talk about this, but, we got to keep it fresh and interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So is this
Scoliosis going on?
A, cure for hemorrhoids,
Mm.
B, medieval spanking, or 3, or C, sorry, I had it written wrong, hair removal?
Oh. Yeah, you have sometimes when you have too much hair, you have to get your friend to help you out.
Yep.
Too much Bosley.
Yeah. It's definitely not spanking. I'm gonna go with the other one.
Which
What-
one?
I forgot one.
Hemorrhoids.
Which one?
What was the other?
There's hair removal and cure for hemorrhoids.
hemorrhoids.
You're correct. So we didn't talk about it, but what he's doing is he's taking a hot rod and kind of burning off the hemorrhoids.
Oh.
Kind of like how you would remove a wart with freeze.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing.
But the opposite.
That wasn't
Yeah.
a chisel?
Wait, no, I thought it was like a chisel type of thing.
No, they use hot rods.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What if they chiseled away at it like like ore trapped in stone?
I think it was a little bit of
a
both.
little bit of both. All right, last
A hot
one.
Chisel.
Whoa. Whoa.
Wade, we told you not to be looking at this kind of material at work. And
Hey,
it's
Quinton
really
sent me
becoming a
this.
problem.
Quinton sent me this.
So is this a treatment for insomnia?
He looks like he's
why?
enjoying this.
Why does she have the Princess Leia haircut?
Or
Is this
he-
treatment for insomnia?
Mm-hmm.
B, flying broom accident? Or 3, is this an enema?
Wait, how are you going to get to sleep after that?
pass out?
She looks like she's enjoying it.
This would be the opposite of
Or
insomnia.
he looks like he's really
Or
enjoying
It
it.
could be either. I'm so confused.
The little outline I'm seeing there.
What was the last one? Enema?
Enema.
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 I don't know what that is, and that's usually the right answer. So I'm gonna go with that.
Sweet summer child.
That is correct. That is an enema.
What is
So-
that? Can you explain?
This is
so I'm assuming there's water in that bag.
so what this is, it's like you take like a cylinder, a metal cylinder, and you insert it up the butt, and you put liquids in it, like an enema. Apparently, King Louis XIV loved doing this. He did it all the time.
He liked enemas?
Yes.
Is that the only thing he liked?
I guess so.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, despite you hardly paying attention, you did much better than Mason did.
I got
Right.
75%.
Yeah.
That's still a passing grade.
That
so
is like a
C-
good. That's a solid C.
C
Solid C.
degrees.
In the,
C's
in the
degree-
accelerated classes,
Yeah.
if we're on an 8-point scale, that's still a D there, Jace.
Oh, I hate 8-point scale so much.
So
It's-
I guess we can pass him.
Yeah, you have to. We're gonna keep you a
mean-
grade.
I only have 3 books, so like.
How many books did you have, Mason?
Just one, right?
I only had one.
Oh,
Jace is saying that he's got 3 books to
you
my
did
1
pretty
book.
bad-
That checks
you did pretty
out.
Bad on your test.
Yeah,
You
that
got
is
2
true. I only have 1 book.
Wait, how many books did you say you had?
Me personally?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Wade, you can't count your dad's books and then claim them as
Shit.
your own. All right.
I would say about 7.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a good number of books.
And you have a lot.
Were you telling me
Yeah,
that
boy.
Wade is the smartest person in this room
I
right
would
now?
not doubt
Quentin has
that.
like 12 books.
It's 12.
I wasn't exactly listening when you had that anti-Semite on, but
What?
I remember hearing
What
something
the fuck
about
are you talking? Oh,
12
right.
books.
Okay, I remember.
Yeah, maybe we should talk a little bit more about
No.
Wade booking a 12th century anti-Semite on the
Look.
podcast.
Look, at the time, it was different. I wouldn't have known.
It was still wrong.
I wouldn't have known that he was going to say such awful things.
Wait, I just saw on Twitter earlier. Did you like that Plague Doctor's QAnon page?
No, I don't know anything about Twitter.
No,
but
it's
on
X now.
Yeah,
It's X.
yeah. I was all over the QAnon stuff today on X.
Oh. think no, I've missed everything.
That's what happens when you only have one book. They're laughing at you. I think that pretty much wraps up our episode for today, folks.
Is that it?
Yep. Wade, do you want to say something? Sign off?
The Ghost City Tours does not endorse the views held by our guests.
Who Wade booked?
Wade, look.
I wouldn't have known. How was I to know?
Mason, you want to say something?
I just want to say spay and neuter your pets.
That's good.
Yeah, and
Unless you have a
I
cool
think-
pet.
Wade, Mason is talking.
I'm trying to interrupt.
You can. He has to do his sign off.
Trying to interrupt.
You already did your
This is
sign
it.
off.
This isn't a sign off.
Oh, okay.
But the voices above were telling me. They're asking me, what have we learned today, guys?
Oh, have we learned stuff today? Our producer wants us to
No. The voices above.
to list a bunch of crap
man in
that
the
we
room.
learned.
The man in the room.
We learned about techniques that aren't used at all anymore, but some that are.
Yeah.
So it's kind of confusing.
Learn about yellow bile.
You did learn about yellow
Yeah.
bile. That's what you remember.
Oh,
I
well, how
remember
could you forget
Just
that
the,
guy?
The phlegm.
We learned that we should really put a filter on Wade's internet browsing,
We should start vetting our guests, maybe.
vetting our guests maybe. I mean, other than that, we learned about putting holes in people's heads.
Yeah.
Bleaching.
We talked to a racist doctor.
Anti-Semitic.
Still bad.
Still bad, but we gotta be.
That's
be
basically still the same thing.
casting allegations.
Still bad.
Still very bad, of course.
And we learned that depression is caused by too much poop in your body.
No, that's
Not enough
that's
poop in
yellow
your body.
bile.
yeah, that's
Depression
you're
has to do with the
angry.
black bile with the spleen.
Depression has to do with your spleen not being good.
The
Yeah.
bile in your spleen, the bad stuff.
Exactly.
Do we need
And-
to have the doctor back on?
No.
Raw.
No.
So, what my opinion, raw of what
No, I really
doing,
thought that
raw-
we got rid of him and that he was gone.
Wait, why'd you get him back on?
I didn't do anything. He
I
just,
thought
like,
you hung
started
up on
calling in.
him.
Jace,
You can't stop me.
Jace,
We've had him on mute this whole time.
is there? What would you like to say to end off the episode?
Leica is in my spot.
She is in your spot. She's in your spot the entire time. We have hardly even mentioned Leica being
Yeah.
here.
I thought I would have, but
Like it's the start of the show.
We were talking about too much important things.
I'm
Yeah.
really glad you had me on. It's my
Mm.
first time being on camera.
Ever?
Well, I did the Grimace video, but that was it.
The what video?
The Grimace. Oh.
Who's that?
When did that happen?
Never mind. I would like to say thank you all for watching, and please, for all that is love and holy, do not try these techniques at home.
Well, you should actually
yeah.
do the bloodletting one now.
How many
Okay.
books does Leica have?
Too many to count.
More than me.
Probably more than me.
Definitely more than you. God.
Yeah.
Well, till next time, we are the Pair Abnormal Podcast.
That's it for the Pair Abnormal podcast. I get to say the last words.
Thank you.
No, me, I get to say the last words.
I
Bye.
get to say last words.
I get them. Bye.
I get them.
Bye.
Ah! Bye.